Hey everyone, Activesin here, and today, actually yesterday, I finished the campaign of Kirby Star Allies, so I thought I would give you my overall thoughts of the game, and if you should pick it up for your Nintendo Switch. So let's start off with the visuals, because of course that's the first thing you're going to notice, and they are beautiful. This game is without question the best looking Kirby game we've ever gotten. The colors pop, there's a lot of variety in the backgrounds between the different worlds, several different enemy types in the game, and the combination powers have a nice dynamic animation when you unlock them. Each of the attack power-ups, of which there are several, all have their own distinct look and animation. There is a lot of detail and subtle nuances in the game, which I appreciate. Basically, the visuals of this game are stunning and they did a fantastic job with the presentation of this game overall. Even down to the little character animations, how Kirby and his friends interact with each other was well done. I don't really have any complaints. So, let's talk about the story. Corrupted hearts have been spread around the galaxy and are infecting beings like DDD and Wispy, for example. So some of them land in Kirby's world while he's sleeping, and it's up to Kirby and his friends to figure out what's going on with these hearts and save those who have been corrupted. The story's nothing revolutionary, it's a Kirby game, what do you expect? But it does a good enough job to get the game moving along with some sort of goal in mind. Later on in the game, we do meet some new enemies who are trying to gather the corrupted hearts and do something evil. I don't really want to give away what their plan is in this review, so I'll just say this. They're up to no good. Basically, the story is clearly not the reason for buying this game. So let's talk about the main selling point of Kirby Star Allies, and that, of course, is the gameplay. This is classic Kirby gameplay, side-scrolling, sucking up enemies, copying their powers, and unleashing your wrath upon anyone who is in front of you. But this time, there is a twist. Kirby can have up to 3 friends join his team, which he befriends by throwing a heart at them. I guess Kirby's love is stronger than their hate, so by tossing a heart at an enemy, they become best friends with Kirby and will aid you on your quest. So you can also combine powers with your AI teammates, which adds a lot of variety to the gameplay, which I appreciated. It really lets you choose how you want to handle situations. For example, if I have the sword power and one of my allies is a flame character, I can hold up on the controller and Kirby will summon them to infuse his sword with flames, becoming the sizzling sword, which of course means your sword now has flame powers, so you can shoot fire out of your sword and light things on fire like grass, for example, and it increases your damage as well. You could also infuse with electricity, ice, water, or wind as well. You cannot have 2 elements at the same time, so you do have to choose which one you want. They all allow you to attack in a different way, and when you think you find a power that you like and you can just plow through the game just like that, well, you can't really, because there are puzzles set up in the game which you can only get past by using specific powers combined together. For example, later in the game, there are some switches that can only be hit with the rock power combined with either ice or water. This is a smart idea because it will almost force you to either change up your weapon or your teammate's weapon so you don't get comfortable with what you believe to be your ideal setup. It allows you to try many different combinations, and maybe you will find one that you actually like better than whatever your favorite was before. Speaking of the puzzles in this game, there are quite a few. They are not going to be challenging for any seasoned gamer out there, but the puzzles are fun. They are easy though, and later on in the game there are a few that will take a little longer to figure out, but for the most part I don't think you will have too much trouble with the puzzles. That may be good or bad depending on your point of view. Kirby Star Allies also allows for local co-op with a friend, which is nice. It has drop-in, drop-out co-op at any time. You can split the Joy-Cons and have somebody press the bumpers on both and you can join the game. it's pretty seamless and it's a nice addition to the game. Of course, I would have preferred there to be online co-op for the game, but sadly, it is local only. Even if you don't have someone to play the game with, I really wouldn't worry because like most Kirby games, this game is pretty easy. I played through the game in under 8 hours for the campaign, which is a decent amount of time, but there really wasn't much challenge, especially when you have a 4-person team. You can really just plow through the enemies and the bosses with little to no problem. You can kind of just sit back and allow your teammates to destroy everything, and you can just like revive them if they die if you want. So if you just want a relaxed experience and let the AI handle everything, this game is probably for you. Of course, you can go to the front of the battle lines and fight yourself. You can even release your friends and just play by yourself during boss fights if you want to add a challenge, if you want to do it that way. One other cool thing that added to the game is you can kind of create this quote-unquote dream team, because you can add Meta Knight and King Dedede and Waddle Dee to your team once you've defeated them in the game, because they are bosses, which you've seen in the trailers already. So once you defeat them, you can add them to your team once you unlock the special level in each world. So that's pretty cool. It was nice to have Dedede and Meta Knight on my team. I thought that was pretty cool. One last thing I want to touch on before giving my overall thoughts of the game is the frame rate of the game. It's 30 FPS, and for a platformer that might turn you off, and I'll just say this, I of course would prefer this game to be 60 FPS. It's a platforming game. I feel like 60 FPS should not be a problem on the Nintendo Switch, especially when we have stuff like especially when we have stuff like Mario Odyssey, which is an open sandbox game, and that game is 60 FPS. So I feel like this might have been a little lazy on the developer's part, just gonna be honest with you. But I will say this, it seems like it was a locked 30 FPS. I didn't really notice any frame rate dips during my playthrough, so that is a good thing. So overall thoughts of the game, Kirby Star Allies is a very fun game. I enjoyed my playthrough of the campaign. It's not the longest game out there. I felt like they could have added more worlds to pad out the experience a little longer, but it is fun. I love the visuals of this game from start to finish. It is beautiful. They did a great job with variation of level design as well. For those of you who are hoping for a more ambitious Kirby game that breaks the mold like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, this is not the game for you. It feels very much like any other Kirby game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you wanted something different, this is not for you. But if what you want is the classic Kirby experience, then I think you will enjoy this game. It feels like other Kirby games. It's good, it's solid, although it's a little safe. You're not going to find anything different here other than the combination powers. So, should you buy this game? Yeah, I think so. Eventually. I don't think it's worth $60. I feel like it should have been a $40 game, much like Kirby and the Rainbow Curse was. So I would suggest you wait for a discount before picking up Kirby Star Allies. Make sure to hit that notification bell located right below that like button. Share, subscribe, and have a great day, people. Bye.